Campaign Legal Center. Is that right?
That's correct.
Is your website campaignlegal.org?
Correct.
Okay. Does not the front page of your website say, I'm going to quote here, I want to get it right, the current U.S. Supreme Court is a threat to our democracy? The current U.S. Supreme Court is a threat to our democracy. Did I read that right?
What I can say is that our organization...
But is that on your website?
I am not certain exactly what's on the website.
Here it is, right here,
Okay.
big as Dallas.
Receipts.
What that refers to is the voting rights voting rights cases of the Supreme Court. Our organization is a voting rights organization that fights for all Americans to have the ability to vote.
Yeah, but you got to click a bunch of times to find that explanation. I just want to make sure I read that correctly. A few months ago, Mr. Payne, you retweeted the following statement. Some justices are politicians in robes who thrive in a system where access and influence are for sale. Some justices are politicians in robes who thrive in a system where access and influence are for sale. Now that's a pretty bold statement.
I'm sorry, Senator, is that a news article?
No, sir. That's a retweet here. You tweeted this out. Tell me which justices are for sale.
I don't recall that tweet, but...
Here it is.
Show him the receipts.
November 21, 2022. Can you tell me which justices are for sale?
We got receipts.
No.
Are any of them for sale?
No, the problem is that the American public has a perception that some justices may be.
I'm going to establish the point first. I want to know. You tweeted this out. Do you believe that some justices are for sale? And if so, which ones?
No, Senator, I do not believe that justices are for sale.
Then why'd you tweet this out?
What can you provide more context of what that is?
I'll get you a copy, but here it is. I checked it and triple checked it. You also said
receipts
less than a month ago that John Roberts, you retweeted this out. John Roberts is a disgrace.
No, I
disagree with Justice Roberts. Well, you didn't call him Chief Justice Roberts. You called him John Roberts.
No, you
retweeted this.
No, Senator, I did not retweet that.
Yes, sir, you did, right here.
I will need to see. Can you provide a copy to me now? But
sure.
I did not retweet.
Can you tell me why you think Chief Justice Roberts is a disgrace?
I did not say that, did not retweet that.
Oh, okay. Maybe Twitter got it wrong.
Someone got it wrong.
Let me ask you this, because the unstated premise of all this, sometimes it's stated, but the unstated premise of all this is that some justices have been bribed. Let's just cut to the chase. Okay? Now,
get him, John.
Let me stay with you, Mr. Payne. Let me go to
Massa.
Mr. Vogel.
Get him, Massa.
Just pick on you, Mr. Payne. You can be looking up on Twitter where you said those things.
Massa, Payne out of the line, Massa.
On April 4th, 2019, the American Civil Liberties Union paid for Justice Sotomayor's trip to San Juan, Puerto Rico. You ever been to San Juan, Mr. Vogel? Is it expensive?
I keep forgetting. Well, it depends when you go.
Yeah. How much you think it costs to go down there?
Depends whether you fly first class or economy.
What if you fly first class?
Oh, probably a couple $1,000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
The ACLU, do they have cases in front of the Supreme Court?
All the time.
They do, all the time?
Sure.
Do you think the ACLU was trying to bribe Justice Sotomayor?
No, sir, I don't.
I don't either.
But Mr. Payne
I don't
thinks
either.
so.
But that's the unstated premise of all of this.
Well, Senator, if I
All
may,
these articles about Justice Clarence Thomas and the Chief Justice of the United States and Justice Gorsuch, who sold an interest in an LLC to a Democratic donor who had never met, that they bought him, isn't it?
may I say something?
And that what brings me to the $400,000 that got misplaced in Chester. I told y'all pay attention. Williams, Morgan created the LLC in an account that don't even exist. That's where they deposit the money at. And they're using that $400,000 on their campaign. Look at all the fancy signs and everything they got going on, ladies and gentlemen. Wait till election day when they riding around picking up voters in a Mercedes-Benz Cruiser. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention. My man, John Kennedy. That's my man right there, y'all. He don't drop nothing but facts. He showed that nigga his receipts of him retweeting shit, and he tried to clean it up. Same thing was going on in Chester, y'all. They had $400,000 that just disappeared. And all of a sudden, they running again on another ticket. Pay attention, y'all.
In response, Senator, I think there are two things going on here today. I think there is a political conflict, which is, as I said earlier, it's very intense. It's hyper-partisan. Both sides have things to say. And then I think there's an ethical issue.
When you accuse people of being bribed, it kind of gets their attention.
Sir, hold on a second. I'm not accusing anybody of being bribed. I'm not.
But some people are.
Some people are. The reason I'm here is I think that there is an ethical issue
You hear that, y'all?
that, as Senator
People
Graham
being
said
bribed
earlier,
out
it would
here,
be
y'all.
good for the court to think about in terms of
People
being
y'all
more
look up to.
transparent. That is what
Vote
I
into
care about.
these,
That's the only thing I care about.
positions.
There's a lot of political back and forth that's very interesting.
Motherfuckers
I'm
being
very
bribed,
interested in it
y'all.
as a citizen of the United States. But I think
That's
the
a
most
fact.
useful thing that this or any other committee could do is think about how do we make our institutions.
Well, how are you going to do that in the context, though, of one of our leaders, for whom I have great respect, going on the steps of the United States Supreme Court, telling two justices if they vote in a way he doesn't like, they will pay the price and reap the whirlwind. And you have another one of your witnesses here tweeting out stuff saying, quote, some justices are politicians in robes who thrive in a system where access and influence are for sale.
Yeah.
He said they were bought like a sack of potatoes.
Okay, I'm not going to comment on that, Senator. That's not anything I had anything to do with. So.